Hello and welcome to the National Debate. I'm Madhavdas Gopalkrishnan. Viewers, the legal scrutiny is firmly on the Gandhi-Vadra family as earlier this week, the Enforcement Directorate filed its first charge sheet in the National Herald case, where Sonia and Rahul Gandhi were named as accused number 1 and 2. The focus is on now the purchase of a 90 crore rupee loan, which ended up giving the Gandhis control over a company that owned assets worth over 2,000 crore rupees. The agency is also looking into the possibility of the money laundering angle. While on the one hand, Sonia and Rahul Gandhi are under the ED lens, on the other, you have businessman Robert Vadra, who's been questioned by the agency multiple times this week over his own land deals. He's been accused of money laundering, criminal conspiracy and cheating. While the opposition has accused the centre of using agencies for political vendetta, there have been no clear answers yet on the charges levelled against the Gandhis. So today, on the National Debate, we ask, is the law finally catching up with the Gandhis, or are they being framed with a larger political intent? Let's quickly take this across to the big screen and show you what is the first point that we are debating and introduce the story. What is this case all about? How did this all begin? This is what we're talking about. In 2014, the court took cognizance of Subramaniam Swamy's complaint into this entire issue. We've also seen how the entire ED probe stems essentially from the 2014 court order. That's the information as far as how the case began is concerned. There was a criminal conspiracy by officers of AJL is the main allegation. A conspiracy to usurp AJL assets worth over 2,000 crore rupees. Public money converted to personal use is the charge that is being levelled over here. Young Indian purchased 90.21 crore rupees loan from AICC. The right to recover the 90.21 crore rupee loan bought for just 50 lakh rupees is another violation that's being pointed out over here. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi together held 76% of the shares in Young Indian, and Young Indian was incorporated as a charitable firm, but no such activity that has been seen so far is the charge. Young Indian also reportedly took rupees 1 crore as an entry from a shell company, Dotex Merchandise. Attempts to stay the investigation have failed both at the level of the High Court as well as the level of the Supreme Court. Now, this is what has happened so far in this entire case. But what are the charges? If we break it down more seriously, what are we looking at? The allegation is that there's an amount of 50 lakh rupees that has been paid from a Gandhi-linked firm. Further, shares of AJL have been transferred 99%. 2,000 crore rupees of assets. That's the total value of AJL properties at that point of time. And now about 11 years hence, it's about 5,000 crore rupees plus when you talk about the market value of these very assets. Let's look at the shareholding pattern as well. Rahul Gandhi holding 38% of the stake as far as this company is concerned. Sonia Gandhi holding 38% of the stake as well in Young Indian. There was late Motilal Vora who held 12% stake in this company. Oscar Fernandez, another late leader of the Congress party, who held 12% of the stake in this entire company. And with Oscar Fernandez and Motilal Vora no more, it is only Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi who are the shareholders. Let's quickly now take this across to our guests who are joining us here in our studio for more on this. With us is Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP. Joining us also is Ishkaran Bhandari, who's an advocate of the Supreme Court. Abhishek Sudhir is a political analyst joining us. Ashutosh Mishra is a senior journalist with us. Mohammad Tariq Khan is national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Professor Akhil Swami is a political analyst. But my first question goes across to Kapil Madan. Kapil Madan, there are very serious charges over here. A charge sheet has been filed. The allegation is that the interest in 2,000 crore rupees in an allegedly charitable company was transferred without proper norms being followed, and the direct beneficiaries of that were Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. How do you deny this charge?
So, Mother, let me begin by saying in this entire case, truth is missing and unfortunately noise is becoming the strategy. Let's understand the basic. AJL, when AJL had an outstanding of 90 crores, there was an EGM. Basis that EGM, all the rules as envisaged under the corporate law was followed, and a debt of 90 crore was converted into an equity. And equity was given to whom? It was given to a company which was known as Young India. And let me tell our viewers here very, very simply, categorically and specifically, that Young India is a not-for-profit company, meaning thereby their shareholders cannot get any dividend, their shareholders cannot get any profits out of it, and whatever is the shareholding, etc., it stays with the company for the purposes for which that company is formed.
So where is the profit
Let me
going?
just
Where is
hold
all
on.
the
Let
rent?
me.
Where is all
It's
the
an
income
opening.
coming from? Where is it going?
It's only. What is the narrative in the media spread by the BJP? The narrative. It's a political narrative wherein they are saying that the company worth AGL, which has 1,000 crores of properties. These shares have gone to specific individuals named therein. It is factually, legally incorrect. Perhaps they should refer to the law books once again, because a shareholder of any particular company does not own the asset of the company.
Okay, quick
the asset stays with AGL.
Okay, Ishkaran, I want you to respond as a lawyer. He's saying, legally speaking, every criterion has been met, whether it's the point of view of a charitable company or the point of view of the shareholders. Everything is legally kosher in this case. Your response?
See, this case is not starting today. There is no need to refer to law books, because eminent counsels referred to law books and the statutes and challenged the summoning order in the High Court and in the Supreme Court, and those law books did not help them. The Supreme Court refused to quash it, as had the High Court refused to quash it. That is why the case is going on. Firstly, let's not pretend this is 2012. This is 2025. We have gone through a court process. The second aspect now, because I'm tired of hearing Section 8, Section 8, Section 8 company. Firstly, please understand, Section 8 company can pay remuneration to its directors. It can pay expenses. It can organize events. So all you need is to fund your lifestyle. Could it fund the lifestyle? Of course, Section 8 company can fund the lifestyle. It just got into controversy, so maybe that is why it stopped. The third aspect, which the viewers need to know, because we are in a nation of startups and valuations rise and people make money, and which is very good for India. But this is the only startup where, without inventing anything, without creating anything, without bringing any technology, just by access to power, a magical 50 lakh rupees converts to 2 to 5,000 rupees. In fact, 50 lakhs is less than the rental of the property in which you have taken the entire properties worth thousands of crore. The fourth aspect, which is very important, it is just an equity transfer, loan was transferred. Bhaiya, let the viewer ask. Supposing Congress had given 90 crores as loan, supposing, that also has to be proved whether that was given or not. Then why did Congress not take over AGL? Why did Congress not get the equity? The viewer must be asking this question. Why did you need a special purpose vehicle called Young India, which will get the equity? Why? The reason is simple. Because if Congress had it, then the Congress president or general secretary would control it. Tomorrow it could be a new president. Today it's Mr. Kharge. Day after tomorrow it could be a split in the party. And the properties would then go with Congress.
Okay.
But now, even if Congress ceases to exist as a political party, all the assets would be controlled by an entity called Young India, which is Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. That is why Congress wrote off 90 crores of loan. Is Rahul Gandhi a money recovery agent? What is his experience to recover money? What steps did they take to recover money that they suddenly take over all the properties for 50 lakh rupees? Anybody who's worked in life or done any business knows. If, for example, you need to recover money from somebody, 1 crore rupees, what will you do? You will contact a lawyer, you will send a notice to recover money, you will file a recovery suit, you will file a binding petition, you will take recourse to law. No recourse is taken to law to recover money from AGL, but it's all the rights are given to a company outside the Congress's purview in individual names so that property can be transferred. That is why they have got no relief from Supreme Court.
Ashutosh, I want you to come in on this. No relief coming in from any court as far as the investigation is concerned. That's a point that they are repeatedly saying, whether it's High Court or Supreme Court. And end of the day, all this circuitous route of transactions was only done with one intent in mind, says the BJP, which was to secure the Gandhi family's interest in these thousands of crores of assets. Your response to Ishkaran?
So, the legal points will be answered in the court, but as Abhishek Manu Singhvi said, if we wanted to launder money, we wouldn't have created Young India. We aren't that foolish. That's what Abhishek Manu Singhvi said. At the start, you spoke about political vendetta. That's what it is. And it is very obvious from August 2015, when one ED director said there is no case against the Gandhis. He was immediately replaced and the case reopened. A political vendetta started by Subramanian Swamy has been hijacked by Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi today knows that he cannot politically handle Rahul Gandhi. What has been his two engines of jumlas? Corruption and communalism. His Hindu Khatre mein has failed.
But factually, does that really hold out? Because, politically, Rahul Gandhi hasn't been very successful in the last 3 Lok Sabha elections and dozens of assembly polls. Where is the threat politically?
Yeah, I will tell you. When you bring down a man who wants 400 par to 240, who has to eat crow and work with Naidu and Nitish, whom they had been abusing earlier, that is when you are brought down. When I have given this example earlier before, I will give it today also. In Maharashtra, where NDA is winning. In Nanded by-elections, Lok Sabha elections, Congress won. The voting was during the same period. That is when it's obvious that people don't prefer Narendra Modi.
Sir, we are not discussing specifics.
But let's come back to
the
this
broad
case.
threat coming from Rahul Gandhi, which is the only point I was answering. But nevertheless,
let's come back to this National Herald case for one moment. Why has this been raised today? Because Rahul Gandhi has time and again exposed Narendra Modi's links to a corporate house. He has been talking about Modani.
Okay.
Adani has been convicted in US. Narendra Modi has been embarrassed.
Convicted.
Not convicted.
Convicted.
Indicted. Let me correct myself. Indicted. Let me correct myself.
Baba, defamation case will come. Please don't.
I'm
Indicted.
correcting myself.
Convicted.
Indicted. He has been indicted. I'm correcting myself.
Yeah.
Indicted in US. Narendra Modi has been publicly embarrassed in US when a question was asked in a press conference. And this is the payback.
Yes.
He wants to show that if I am corrupt, then they are
Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi also. But political charge. Pradeep, respond to this. It's the government that's on the back foot because of Rahul Gandhi, and that's why they're taking all this action. It's vindictive. It's vendetta. Respond.
Well, we are on the front foot because of Rahul Gandhi, not on the back foot. There's a famous saying that Caesar's wife should be beyond suspicion. The Gandhi-Vadra family innovates new models of corruption, and I will just stick to facts. Point number 1. A political party giving a loan of 90 crore to a private entity is illegal as per section 29 AC of the Representation of People Act 1951, as per section 13A of the Income Tax Act 1961. Why was the Congress party giving loan to a private entity and a political party as a political party? Point number 1. Point number 2, a 2,000 crore asset worth AJL, the entire 99% shares of a company AJL which had 1,057 shareholders at the time of 2010 was completely transferred to Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Why? For just mere 50 lakh. Please tell me a name of a company which can do so. What were Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi's earlier business transaction records? Are they big businesses that people had given them loan on credibility? Point number 2. Point number 3. 2019 Delhi High Court says the transaction of Young India and AJL was clandestine and surreptitiously transfer of lucrative interest. 2014 was the first summon which was issued. They went to the High Court upheld the summon. They went to the Supreme Court upheld the summon. After that, 700 Congress leaders went on the road that Rahul and Sonia summoned, but they were summoned. After that, they went to the Supreme Court of India, quashing the entire complaint. It did not happen. They went to Delhi High Court. It did not happen. In 2024, where they went to Delhi High Court, preventing the ED to attach assets. Even Delhi High Court rejected that. So if that was vendetta, if our intention was vendetta, we would have summoned Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi in 2014. We would have charge-sheeted them in 2014. But we believe in due process of law. This is why they are charge-sheeted in 2025. Because prima facie, they've done acts of corruption. Can Madhav, you tell me and name me, 9 crore 21 shares were issued on 21st January 2011 without the approval of 1,057 shareholders of AJL, transferring 99% of the entire equity and shareholding of AJL to Young India. Why? Because Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi even did not trust the congressmen and wanted to take control of 2,000 crore worth of property. That is my larger charge. If they can specifically tell me, how can a political party loan 90 crore to a private entity? Point number 2, how can 50 lakh of rupees be used to take control of 2,000 crore worth of property? Please.
We have begun with that. And in fact, I want you to come in on this point, Professor Akhil Swami, because, Associated Journals is a paper that was started by Jawaharlal Nehru along with freedom fighters. About 5,000 freedom fighters were its shareholders. What happened to those shareholders? Because a very prominent lawyer, you would also know Shanti Bhushan, has come out to say that his own father, Vishwamitra, owned shares in AJL, but they were not consulted when this entire process of transfer happens. So isn't it an insult to the memory or at least the dedication of these shareholders who were the freedom fighters of our country at the end of the day?
देखिए, मैं शुद्ध हिंदी में बड़ी सरल भाषा में बताऊंगा, और ये सब्जेक्ट मैंने 20 साल पढ़ाया है, कॉर्पोरेट रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग। मुझे हंसी आती है जब इस पे डिस्कशंस होते हैं और ऐसी मूर्खतापूर्ण बातें होती हैं। मैं चाहता हूं लोग मेरी क्लास अटेंड करें और मैं बताऊं ये केवल मूर्खतापूर्ण बात हो रही है। बताता हूं कैसे। बंगाल के अंदर आपको ऐसे ऐसे नवाब मिल जाएंगे जिनकी अट्टालिकाएं हैं और रिक्शा चलाते हैं। कारण यह है, एसेट एक चीज होती है, रेवेन्यू एक चीज होती है। अगर एक कंपनी के इनकम नहीं है और एक्सपेंडिचर्स ज्यादा हैं, जो राहुल गांधी और इसने यंग इंडिया ने किया है, इसको बेल आउट कहते हैं। और सुनिए, एक कंपनी में, क्योंकि किसी भी बैंक में और फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन में,
just correct you there?
let me
No, you're talking about revenue. I'm on your point of revenue. I'm coming on your point of revenue.
Let me complete.
Sir, in Lucknow, AJL properties were rented to beer and hardware shops. Herald House in Delhi rented to a passport office with high rental returns. In Patna, the land belonging to AJL was taken over by mafia. These are all rental incomes that are coming in.
मान्यवर, मैं एक अध्यापक हूं, मुझे कृपा करके 2 मिनट बोलने दें।
नहीं, आप rentals की बात कर रहे हैं. I'm just pointing out to the point that you have made.
Please don't do that. I know as to what I'm talking.
No, so please answer this question. There are rental incomes coming in.
I'm answering the question. एक कंपनी अगर लॉस मेकिंग हो और उसके ऊपर टर्म लोन इतना ज्यादा हो कि इंटरेस्ट और प्रिंसिपल का पेमेंट ना कर पा रही हो, वो बैंक और फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन के पास जाके कहती है इस टर्म लोन को इक्विटी में कन्वर्ट कर दो। सुनिए मेरी बात। बैंक और फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन कहते हैं इक्विटी में तब ट्रांसफर करेंगे अगर इस इक्विटी से हमें फ्यूचर में रिटर्न मिलेगा। ये सुनिए, यंग इंडिया को पता है इस कंपनी में एक्सपेंडिचर हमेशा ज्यादा रहेंगे, लेकिन क्योंकि स्वतंत्रता संग्राम सेनानियों की कंपनी है नेशनल हेरल्ड, जिससे अंग्रेजों ने भी खिलाफत की थी और आज के अंग्रेजों के भक्त भी उसकी खिलाफत कर रहे हैं, इसलिए नेशनल हेरल्ड को बंद करने के लिए, अगर उन्हें पता है इस कंपनी से प्रॉफिट नहीं होने, सेक्शन 8 के तहत जो कंपनी बनी है प्रॉफिट नहीं मिलने, इसको बेल आउट कहते हैं। जिन लोगों को नहीं समझ आता, मेरी क्लास अटेंड करें और मैं 1 घंटे की क्लास में जो लोग मेरी बात नहीं समझे क्लास के बाहर।
एक सेकंड। सबसे पहली बात, दिस इज अ न्यूज़पेपर एंड न्यूज़पेपर हैज सर्टेन डिस्पेंसेशंस इन लॉ, बट एनीवे, इसका वुड यू लाइक टू कम इन ऑन दिस?
बहुत सिंपल पॉइंट। एक तरफ आप कहते हैं सेक्शन 8 कंपनी है, वो क्या होती है? कॉर्पोरेट बेल आउट्स cannot be done by a section 8 company. That's the fundamental thing you have to know before you talk about corporate bailouts. There are laws which are applicable to corporate bailouts, which companies can do corporate bailouts. Then you cannot have at one hand it's a section 8 company, we are not making any money, but we are doing corporate bailouts. If you take that defense, you'll be thrown out of the court in any court of any land.
ये कोर्ट में जो होगा
any court of the section 8 company to bail out.
Will happen. It is only a political vendetta. Only a political vendetta. और सुनिए, कुछ नहीं है।
One second. No, you can't say. Just calm down. How can you say? And he has a very valid point. How can you say it is a Section 8 company that's meant for charitable purposes, and then you will apply the sections that are meant for a corporate company? Court में decide होगा, but ये court वाला कह रही है argument सर, इंदिरा गांधी देश के लिए लीगली टेनेबल।
राहुल गांधी राजीव गांधी का बेटा है।
पॉलिटिकल भाषण छोड़िए, आपके आर्गुमेंट लीगली टेनेबल नहीं है। लीगल पॉइंट पर जवाब देखेगा, आप एक्सपर्ट है। आप एक्सपर्ट है सर, आप एक्सपर्ट है कंपनी लॉ में, तो जवाब दीजिए।
लीगल बेल आउट है, ये नेशनल हेरल्ड को बचाने की लड़ाई है। अंग्रेज नेशनल हेरल्ड के पीछे पड़े थे, अब उनके दलाल उसके पीछे पड़े। कुछ नहीं होगा।
पहली बात तो नहीं चाहिए आपकी इकोनॉमी की क्लास, वो यूपीए ने ली थी, फ्रेजाइल 5 में पहुंच गई। मैं बता रहा हूं। अब सुनिए, इन्होंने नेशनल हेराल्ड की लेगेसी की बात करी। चंद्रभानु गुप्ता 3 टाइम के कांग्रेस के मुख्यमंत्री थे, वो क्या कहते हैं नेशनल हेराल्ड के बारे में? आई एम सरप्राइज दैट नेशनल हेराल्ड इज नाउ कंसिडर्ड एज अ प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द नेहरू फैमिली. If there is some investigation by an inquiry commission into how funds were collected for National Herald by Jawaharlal Nehru, there will be a big expose. सर, नेहरू जी भी भ्रष्टाचार करना चाहते थे, सोनिया जी भी भ्रष्टाचार कर रही है, राहुल जी भी भ्रष्टाचार कर रहे हैं। 70 साल तक कांग्रेस अंग्रेजों की दलाली तो नहीं कर रही, चलने दिया, अब नहीं कर रही।
स्वतंत्रता संग्राम सेनानी थे हमारे।
आप एडमिट कर रहे हैं देयर इज करप्शन इन दिस केस?
अरे कहीं करप्शन नहीं है, करप्शन तो अडानी के केस में हुआ है, जिसमें हिंडरबर्ग ने कहा शेल कंपनीज हैं, इंक्वायरी नहीं हुई,
हो गए कोर्ट में,
इंक्वायरी नहीं हुई, ईडी ने इंक्वायरी, इसमें मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कहां है? ना कंपनी ट्रांसफर हुई, ना पैसे का लेन देन हुआ, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग हो गई।
देखिए प्रोफेसर अखिल स्वामी, Court has nowhere said that there is a political vendetta happening. High Court चले गए थे, Supreme Court चले गए थे. Nowhere Court has intervened. If this was a political vendetta, surely courts would have intervened in this matter.
क्या परेशानी है? लेकिन
लीगल
लेन देन नहीं हुआ, प्रॉपर्टी बिकी नहीं, खरीदी नहीं,
बिल्कुल
परेशानी नहीं, देने वाले को परेशानी नहीं. परेशानी किसको है? जुमलेबाजों को.
Abhishek,
just want to get to the one by one. I didn't interrupt you. Just let me explain. I also teach law, so corporate law. Let me just explain something. As Ishkaran said, this is a not-for-profit company. What is the criminality in this case? The criminality alleged by the ED is cheating, fraud, conspiracy to commit cheating and fraud. And they say that there is a sham transaction at the heart of this case. The sham transaction being this. You have a Congress party that's given 90 crores to a company, which is a debt. That Congress party should convert the debt. Instead, you have a shell vehicle, a special entity, special purpose vehicle that's created with, for some reason, Sonia, Rahul, Motilal Vadra and Oscar Fernandez as shareholders. Now, what is their locus standi? Into assume that debt, they pay 50 lakhs. So over and above the 90 crore debt, they pay 50 lakhs. And then 99% of AJL is transferred to Young Indian. Young Indian is today a subsidiary of AJL. This is, sir, I didn't interrupt. Sir, please, I didn't interrupt you. You can speak. I didn't interrupt you. You can speak after I finish. Be civil. Now, 99% of AJL is owned by Young Indian. AJL is almost a wholly owned subsidiary of Young Indian. Now the question is, for 50 lakh rupees, you have a company that has assets worth 2,000 crores in 2010, today worth 5,000 crores. The tax bill for Young Indian, if this was not a sham transaction, would have been 414 crores. That's an income tax assessment. The Gandhis have defrauded the Indian taxpayer of 414 crores. That is the predicate offense. That is the predicate offense. Now we have the money laundering. So, for example, if I commit a theft, I steal this phone, then I go sell this phone. The money I get from selling this phone are the proceeds of crime. That is what is investigated by the ED under the PMLA. What have they done? They have acquired Herald House, which is the jewel, of Delhi. It's at the heart of this case. And they have been getting rent from Herald House. Passport offices are being run there. Subramaniam Swamy initiated a complaint case in this 2012. He held a press conference. 2014 cognizance was taken. There is a separate trial that's proceeding. What is ED saying? As per PMLA, when you are trying the money laundering offense, the predicate offense should also be tried by the government. So that answers their charge of why the delay. The delay is because the government has no role in the prosecution of this case. So far, it is being prosecuted by Subramaniam Swamy. Now the ED has taken over the case. They have defrauded the Indian taxpayer of 414 crore rupees because of the sham transaction. This is not a corporate bailout, sir. There is no such terminology called a bailout that is recognized by the law. This is simply a sham transaction that has defrauded the Indian taxpayer of 414 crores.
No
414 crores.
There is no money trail.
Sham transaction. Yeah.
What do you mean? Exactly, there is no money trail. Because if there was, you would have to pay tax.
Okay. Coming to Tariq Khan, I just want Kapil to quickly answer the legal point. Coming to it, just a minute. Yeah.
Let me first respond to my good friend Pradeep Bhandari. He has, I'm taking strong objection wherein he says that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji did some corruption. Let me just remind him. The property, no, you said, hold on, allow me to complete.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to remind him that way back in 1946, he donated his private property, which was at that time worth 196 crores. And if you want to do a estimate of what that property, how much that property would have been valued today, that is about 49,000 crores. You do a fact check on me. There are, several articles that confirms this report. So let me.
Where are those 5,000 freedom fighters? Why aren't they benefiting?
Hold on.
But answer the questions.
Now let me respond to a legal issue raised by Abhishek Sudhir. Abhishek is trying to say, he's trying to give a benefit of delay to the government to say that it was a private prosecution initiated by Subramaniam Swamiji, and therefore there is a delay of 10 years because that is a predicate offense and this is a PMLA offense, which is a standalone offense. I must say here that this is it is completely dehorsed the way our criminal justice system functions, especially PMLA and predicate offense. While he is right when he says that predicate offense is being tried separately, But that is not a justification that money laundering investigation will take 10 years and you will give.
Will you support it now?
Hold on.
Now it's going to
Now the charge sheet has been filed.
on.
But now the charge sheet has been filed. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
But now the charge sheet has been filed.
So what does the charge sheet says? Now the charge sheet says that there were some funding which Young India got that was a sham transaction.
Yes.
So you will take the transaction happened in 2008. After how many years you trying to question?
What is he saying?
There is no
Sudhir,
limitation for criminal offences.
Sudhir, I was not interrupting.
What is this time limit argument?
So,
It's such
time
a
limit
He is not
argument
able
is
to answer the
now time limit argument is
Quickly, make your point. What is the point you're making?
Don't investigate in
The point I'm
2025.
trying to make here is
क्या
that
बोल
if
रहे
your investigating agencies will take 10 years to investigate a prosecution
what, bhai?
which
That is the
started in
system.
2014.
was also
No, but I'll ask you this. I'll take your point. Ishkaran, Supreme Court has also come out to say that agencies are being misused, that such cases are being used for political reasons. Stringent observations have come from Supreme Court. From that perspective, is this time period too long is a question that comes out. Your response?
See, you have to understand two aspects to this. First aspect, supposing the time period is very fast, you will say it's a witch hunt. You are not investigating enough, because please understand, this entire offense was done when they were in power, when they controlled the documents, when they controlled the agencies, when they controlled the departments. So time limit, and he knows it very, very well, it cannot be a ground in court that you have taken time to investigate a case. Indian judicial process, including because of accused challenging every order, right up till Supreme Court. Every simple order is challenged till Supreme Court. That takes its own time, and they know it. People, if you have resources of money, you can do that. But nobody has answered the central question. If at all, and I'm saying if at all there was a 90 crore debt, why did Congress not take over AJL?
And
why did you give it to people who control companies?
The same
You don't have an answer to that.
The same AJL has claimed to have received a revenue where he says it's a loss-making company of 29.45 crore rupees from advertisement published in the newspapers during the period of 2017-18 to 2020-21, and this has come out during the investigation that 15 crore was claimed to be received from various Congress-affiliated bodies. The rest of the money, 13 crores, received from other entities. Now, the persons whose names are mentioned in the ledgers of advertisement was summoned and stated that they had paid the amount on instructions of Congress leaders, and some of them even deposited that money that was paid to seek protection from Congress leaders in the course of their regular business. Is this not questionable?
Yes, everything is questionable. Listen, Congress will get their right to represent themselves in the court or not. Yes or no? They will. And they'll respond in the court. What's the matter? It seems to be that the responsibility of the ED is not to look into the laundering cases. The responsibility of the ED is to look.
Who is the custodian of PMLA?
आप लोग बोलिए, मैं चुप जाता हूँ.
Investigated only by ED, not by ordinary police.
किसी भी
Mr. Mohammed Sadiq, who is supposed to investigate PMLA cases?
ऐसा लगता है,
ED is
ऐसा लग
misusing
रहा
it.
है
Sir,
कि
ED गलत
का
कर रही
काम
है.
सिर्फ अपोजिशन के लोगों को ही ढूंढना है. वही कर ही रही है. आई एम गिविंग यू अ क्लासिक एग्जांपल. सुनिए, अब अयोध्या में क्या हुआ, एक जमीन खरीदी गई और उसका जवाब भी दीजिएगा, और ईडी कह क्या रही है उसका भी जवाब दीजिएगा. आप लोग इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग हैं. एक जमीन 2 करोड़ की खरीदी गई, 7 मिनट बाद उसको 18.5 करोड़ में बेची गई. जो विटनेस थे बीजेपी के मेयर थे और राम मंदिर ट्रस्ट के मेंबर थे. व्हाट यू विल डू? आपकी ईडी क्या करिए? पीएमएलए कहां गया? वेयर इज पीएमएलए? रिस्पॉन्ड ऑन दिस. अब क्या हो रहा है यहां पर? क्या हुआ? लॉन्ड्रिंग हुई नहीं हुई? लिसन टू मी. मैंने किसी के बीच में इंटरप्ट नहीं किया था. दिस इज नॉट फेयर. माधवन साहब
बोलिए सर, कौन रोक रहा है?
ये बीच में बोल रहे हैं. मैं कह रहा हूं ये लॉन्ड्रिंग हुई ना हुई एक्सप्लेन कर लीजिए. आप लोग बड़े काबिल लोग हैं. ये लॉन्ड्रिंग हुई 7 मिनट में, और इसमें बीजेपी के लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं. कौन सा केस रजिस्टर्ड हुआ? एक एफआईआर दर्ज होती है, मगर जब ईडी दर्ज करती है पीएमएलए को के थ्रू, तो वो कोई और एक रजिस्टर करती है. क्या इसमें रजिस्टर किया गया? हमारे पार्टी के नेता ने इस पे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की, संजय सिंह ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की, लेकिन नहीं, क्योंकि एक जैकेट है. एक सेकंड, मुझे 5 सेकंड और दीजिए. एक जैकेट है जो बीजेपी वाले बनाते हैं. अगर आपने वो जैकेट पहन ली, यू विल बी इनविजिबल. वो जैकेट अजीत पवार को दे दी गई. अब वो जैकेट कांग्रेस हम तो ले नहीं सकते, क्योंकि हम ही अपोजिशन में हैं. वो जैकेट उनको पहना दी, वो सेफ है.
जो मना कीजिए. Okay, two wrongs don't make a right. Here we are discussing National Herald, but since you are saying that the BJP has double standards, I want Pradeep Bhandari to respond to that. Washing machine charge once again. You will ignore cases where it is comfortable for you, and allies and those who are charged, suddenly the washing machine cleans up for them as far as their cases are concerned. Please respond.
The issue is that the opposition people do not have a single fact and they're only focusing on rhetoric. He's trying to scuttle the entire debate, but still I will answer. June 15, 2021 is when this case had come up. The Temple Trust rejected it. After that, not a single member from the opposition, apart from doing a press conference, went to the court. So the court can also direct an central investigative agency to probe something if it is malified. So why have they not gone to the court? They should answer that. Point number one. Now let me come back to
the cases. We should reach court.
Why should you not?
You are saying that?
तो और क्या करोगे? अरे और क्या करोगे? पंचर बनाओगे क्या? अरे पंचर जोड़ोगे क्या?
Any allegation, investigation.
अरे कोर्ट ही तो जाओगे, पंचर थोड़ी जोड़ोगे.
This matter should be passed in सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी. ये क्या तरीका है? अगर कोई allegation है, तो पहले कोर्ट जाना पड़ेगा.
और
आप इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं कर सकते. सब लोग कोर्ट ही जाएंगे. पार्लियामेंट में पास करा दीजिए. कोई भी एलिगेशन हो, कोर्ट जाओ.
मोहम्मद तारिक
ये
खान,
तरीका है. बहुत अच्छा है सर. नमस्कार कर रहा हूं. कोर्ट जाए, कहीं नहीं जाना, सीधे कोर्ट जाए. तो किस लिए सरकार है, किस लिए
मोहम्मद तारिक खान, calm down.
क्या मतलब है?
Calm down.
ये बिल्कुल अजीब बात है. मैं इस बात का विरोध कर रहा हूं. कोर्ट जाओ.
मुझे एक चीज बताइए, थोड़ी जल्दी कोर्ट केस है, जो नेशनल हेराल्ड केस है,
कोर्ट जाओ. ये क्लियर
calm down, तारिक खान.
यहाँ मलिन पहले मैं सर से पूछना चाहता हूँ.
Is this case not something that has come from court order?
2 करोड़ रुपए नहीं, मैं सर ही इज इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्सन. 2 करोड़ रुपए 7 मिनट में 15 करोड़ बन गए. मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग है नहीं है सर. हाँ, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग है नहीं है सर.
ओके, बात सुन लीजिए. Not right. This is not right. Abhishek,
Madhav.
मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग है नहीं.
Abhishek, quickly.
Madhav, my time is taken by the
Sorry, I don't have the resources of this gentleman to investigate what happened in Ayodhya. If he has facts, let him do what Subramaniam Swamy did. Let him go to a court. Let him lodge a complaint. And sir, please name the people involved. He's not named the people. He's not named the facts. Where to go? There are 2 types of courts. There's a court of public opinion. There are law courts. Ajit Pawar has won in the court of public opinion. You are unhappy that he is not, that he's been let off in the law courts.
but that isn't.
That's 2 types of courts. You are lost in both courts.
So Abhishek, the logic है.
क्या logic है? One second. Everyone can't speak at the same time. Please, no. We cannot have a debate like this.
Absolutely illogical.
Ashutosh, I want Ashutosh to come in. Ashutosh ठीक कर रहे हैं. Very impactful speech by him, but at the end of the day, the courts are open. Why not approach the courts if you have the documents, if you have the strong evidence against even this act of corruption, say in Ayodhya? Why not approach the court?
अरे DNA सुनता को ईडी आजकल करती है इंक्वायरी. केवल अपोजिशन में करता है.
कोर्ट की नहीं सुनेगी.
तानाशाही ले आए हैं लोग.
ईडी कोर्ट की.
अरे ये तो कोर्ट ने बचा लिया वक्फ को. ये
कह रहे हैं,
ये भी पूंजीपतियों को देना चाह रहे हैं.
कह रहे हैं कि कोर्ट्स अगर ऑर्डर करेंगे ईडी से इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं करेगी.
उनको नहीं सुनते.
ये मान ले कि ये इन्वेस्टिगेट नहीं करेंगे, हमें कोर्ट में जाना.
कह रहे हैं कि हमारी सीमा का उल्लंघन मत करो. इनके उपराष्ट्रपति कह रहे हैं
once again. Because what you are calling passionate was basically a senseless speech where he says parliament से laws pass करते हुए कोर्ट जाना पड़ेगा. अरे भाई वो law pass हुआ है. That is why people go to court. In fact, the case we are debating, National Herald, came out because you were in power, you were refusing to investigate, and somebody went to court and got orders. So unless you want to just keep sitting in AC rooms, if you believe you have corruption, please hire a lawyer, go to court, prove it. I, as a citizen of this country, will be extremely happy if you can prove a corruption case on anybody, because corruption does not stand. Yes,
respond to that.
Do that.
Respond to that.
Listen. You say that go to the court. Then what is the responsibility of ED? Tell me.
अरे लॉ पढ़ो यार.
नहीं लॉ पढ़ाइएगा भाई, आपके क्लास में आएंगे. मैं कह रहा हूँ
Congress was in power. They went to the court and then the court granted
ED का काम क्या है? अगर ये जानकारी आपको नहीं, आप इतने नासमझ बन रहे हैं कि अयोध्या वाले केस की आपको जानकारी नहीं है कि 7 मिनट
नहीं मालूम सामने रखिए.
फैक्ट्स तो यहीं पर रख रहा हूं. सब कुछ पब्लिक डोमेन में है. लोग इन्वॉल्व थे बीजेपी के थे, इसलिए
माधव, ये देश शरीयत से नहीं चल रहा है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया से चल रहा है. इनको ये समझना चाहिए. मैं बता रहा हूँ. माधव, ये क्या तरीका है? अरे तुम शरीयत भाषण दे रहे हो.
शरीयत पर डिस्कशन हो रहा है. ये शरीयत
वफ की बात करी है. इन्होंने वफ की बात करी है. He spoke about
नीचे करके बात करो,
आराम से
ये कोई तरीका नहीं है बात करने का।
कितने
No personal comments. No personal comments. Gentlemen, this is not
अभी गोली
correct.
मारने
This is not correct. This is not correct. This is not correct. Tariq Khan, calm down.
गुंडे लोग
There is no need to become so. There is no need to be so short-tempered, Tariq Khan. We are having a reasonable debate. We are having a reasonable debate. Calm down. You are shouting at the top of your voice for no reason.
कुछ मत कहना।
Please do not shout. Please do not shout and no personal comments. Pradeep. That is not
Madhav, I am not allowed. No, this is a civil debate.
Calm down, Pradeep. Yeah.
Allow me to make my point. This country will not be run by Sharia. This will be run by the Constitution of India. What does the Constitution of India say? That Subramaniam Swamy, when he had the facts, he went to the court and got the order respectively. If he has specific facts, he should go to the court. अरे जब वक़्त को challenge court में कर सकते हो, तो इसको क्यों नहीं challenge कर सकते court में? इनकी दिक्कत ये इनका अरे अयोध्या और बनारस के केस में आतंकवादियों के केसेस को वापस लेने के लिए अखिलेश यादव की सरकार इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट जा सकती है। तो अगर तुम्हारे पास फैक्ट्स है तो क्यों नहीं जा रहे? नहीं चलेगा।
आतंकवादियों को छोड़े
अखिलेश यादव ने छोड़ा है।
छोड़ के आया था आतंकवादियों
को मरने देते हैं।
आप लोग छोड़ के आए थे।
लोगों को मरने देते हैं।
आप लोग छोड़ के आए थे।
लोगों को मरने देते हैं। और he is trying to scuttle. I am again coming to National Herald. Please tell me 50 लाख में 2000 करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी कैसे मिली? Please tell me कि कांग्रेस पार्टी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कैसे प्राइवेट एंटिटी को डोनेट कर रही है? Please tell me 90 करोड़ को किस तरीके से राइट ऑफ किया गया?
आशुतोष मिश्रा.
So I want to make 2 points. First of all, coming back to National Herald and ED. ED has sought a punishment which is jail up to 7 years for Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Which is, why are they doing that? If you remember, BJP tried to politically cripple Rahul Gandhi in the Modi surname case. They cannot handle Rahul Gandhi politically. This is vendetta again. And in this debate, I was appalled to hear a political slur used by Narendra Modi in one of his bhashans recently in Haryana about panchar banayenge. Panchar banayenge, this is a slur used by communal right-wingers in India. It is a matter of shame that on national debate I had to hear it from the BJP. It's Narendra Modi who has used it, and today BJP person has used it. It should be criticized. It should be criticized by every. They ride the double engine of communalism and corruption. They came to power on a false anti-corruption case against Congress raised by Anna Hazare, and that's what they are trying to do again now. That case fell through in court. All the allegations were proved false in court, and the same will happen here. In this case, no, that's just one more point.
Quickly.
In this case,
10 seconds.
In money laundering cases, what happens? You are guilty unless you can prove that you are innocent, and that's what they are banking on. That it will be tougher
Sir,
for the guilty.
why are you reaching America again and again? This is the Indian law. We have to follow the Indian system.
Indian law, yeah. So in this PMLA case, that is the trick.
So
why they use ED now? That's why they use ED and money laundering cases.
Look, this whole thing about he can't, if I make a political point about not being able to handle Rahul Gandhi, the man has not been able to lead Congress to a 3-figure haul in any of the Lok Sabha elections he's led the party in. He's not won a single general election as the leader of the Congress party. This ED has to do its job. If the ED doesn't do its job, you'll say the ED is a toothless organization. Then you say we don't believe the ED, we don't believe the court. If you have facts, right, like Mr. Bhandari said, Subramaniam Swamy was a private citizen who 2012 held a press conference and brought out what happened in the National Herald case. You have to have faith in the judicial system. You have to have faith in the rule of law.
The other aspects when it comes to the money that has been spoken about, when this is important in the context of whether there was tax evasion or not. Here is one of the points that has been made by the Enforcement Directorate. Bonus donations of 18.12 crore rupees. Young Indian got bonus donations to discharge income tax demand. This is what the ED charge sheet says. It also says that this was done so that Sonia and Rahul don't rent. 38.42 crore rupees of bogus rent without any rent agreement that has been transferred. This money transferred to AJL on Congress leaders' instructions is the second charge. Money laundering done by using AJL is what the ED is alleging as far as this bogus rent is concerned. The third important point are these forced ad payments of 29.45 crore rupees. AJL got ad revenue of 29.45 crores between 2017 to 2020 is what the ED says. Some said that they paid on Congress leaders' instructions. Professor Akhil, how do you respond to this? Because some are seeking protection from Congress leaders and are forced to pay is what the Enforcement Directorate charge sheet says. How do you respond?
See, the basic issue is what they are not ready to listen, that you are just because you have made this a ED case and a money laundering case, because you want to put Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi behind bars, as you had done with Arvind Kejriwal. Because there is no money transaction, there is no money trail, there is no complaint. Either of the parties don't have any problem, and the court says, and the law says, and the third person, the Subramanian Swamy, who himself filed the case, withdrew the case, got a stay from the court, and now the ED made it a money laundering case just to arrest him.
Did he withdraw the
Arrest
case?
him.
When did he withdraw
If
the
you
case?
have the guts, arrest him.
One second. When did he
If you
withdraw the
are
case?
going to arrest him, I know you will go to arrest him.
Professor
Whom, bhai?
Professor Akhil, when did he withdraw the case?
Also,
10 seconds. When he has not withdrawn the case, there is no stay. Subramanian Swamy. One sec. It's a This is a prosecution complaint case. The procedure is different. Here, it doesn't start with framing of charges. It starts with the evidence of Subramanian Swamy. Subramanian Swamy is obfuscating that, saying, I want to rely on documents. And the matter has been stuck in the court for the last 4 years. How can you speak as to whatever Subramanian Swamy's motivations are his motivations? Now the government is seized of the matter.
Has he withdrawn the case?
He has not withdrawn the
He
case.
has not withdrawn the case.
he has obtained from himself.
He has obtained a stay. He has obtained a stay.
He has obtained a stay from himself.
See, what does
He has
that
obtained a
mean?
stay.
Mother, we can't have a fact-free debate. Let us come to the point.
No, it's a fact.
1 second, let me finish.
It's a fact.
Sir, he has been a lawyer in the case.
Madhav,
Allow him
can
to
I
speak.
finish the point now? Thank you. Please understand, you're talking about what does the money trail also. I was noting down the amounts because they are very important. 38 crore rent, 29 crore ad revenue, that is around, roughly around 70 crores it will add up to. 50 लाख रुपीस दे के 70 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू जनरेट, जो जनता देख रही है, कॉमन सेंस आप सबके अंदर है. 50 lakh रुपया दे के कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, यू बाय अ प्रॉपर्टी फॉर 50 lakh rupees and 70 crore is the revenue you get from the property.
Interest transfer तो है सर, interest
हुआ है क्योंकि
interest transfer हुआ है.
अरे लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी है.
What sort of a professor are you?
One second. Let him complete. You can both come in. Let him complete. Let him complete. Yeah.
So
You can come in. Let him complete.
Let us be very clear. What was happening here is not one sham transaction. It is a web of sham transactions for the sole purpose of putting the entire assets of AGL into a company controlled by two individuals.
Okay.
They cannot generate any income. How can they not?
1 second, let me answer this also.
Revenue is coming.
Let me answer this also, Vachvi.
So what is the rental income then? Is that not revenue?
The expenditures are more than the income.
What are these expenditures? What are the expenditures?
In rental income, what is the expenditure?
What is the expenditure?
इसके लिए 20 लोग का उनका
Sir, आपने आगे देखिए, एक second. Tell us how much is the expenditure. We have shown you the incomes. Tell us how much is the expenditure.
ये बताइए.
Sir, expenditure बताइए ना. आप कह रहे हैं expenditure ज़्यादा है. कितना expenditure amount बताइए. We have shown what is the income. I'm giving you a chance.
That allows you what
वापस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, इंटरेस्ट प्रिंसिपल का पेमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. नेशनल हेरल्ड को चलाना ऑब्जेक्टिव था. ये लोग नेशनल हेरल्ड को बंद करना चाहते थे, अंग्रेज भी करना चाहते थे. आज भी ये कर दिया इन्होंने. एसेट्स को टेक ओवर कर लेंगे, नेशनल हेरल्ड को बंद कर देंगे.
सर किसने बंद किया और कब? सर कब बंद हुआ? कब बंद हुआ नेशनल हेरल्ड? बताइए. कब बंद हुआ?
2008 में.
अरे तो हुआ ना बंद. सैलरीज देनी है लोगों को.
ना बीजेपी सरकार में थी ना अंग्रेज सरकार में.
इससे क्या मतलब?
किसने बंद किया?
इससे क्या मतलब है?
तो दैट इज द होल पॉइंट. आप बीजेपी को अपोज कर रहे हैं, आप चलाना चाहते हैं. प्लीज जस्टिफाई. यू कांट मेक एलिगेशंस. Sir, you have to have some facts that back up your arguments. I have asked you what is the expenditure. You said expenditures more. You don't have the expenditure. I asked you who has shut down National Herald. It happened in 2008 when the Congress is in power. At least back up your arguments with some facts.
सैलरीज उनकी थी, वो ड्यू उनको देना था कि नहीं देना था?
तो बताइए ना.
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के ड्यू देने थे कि नहीं देने थे?
कहां थे वो ड्यूज? Where are those dues? Can you please give us some documentation?
सिंपल फैक्ट. बंद क्यों किया था ये बताता हूं. बंद क्यों किया था? बंद करोगे तभी तो एसेट्स टेक ओवर कर पाओगे. 2008 में कौन
क्या टेक ओवर किए? क्या ऐसे टेक ओवर किए?
2000 करोड़
क्या ऐसे टेक ओवर किए? क्या कोई ऐसे
I hope you have come up with some facts, because there are two arguments that have been placed by him. He has not backed it up with facts. Where is the expenditure more than the revenue? Is my question number one. Two, when was this entire company shut? It was shut during the Congress regime.
Yes.
So where is the question of either the BJP or even the British shutting down the company?
salary nahi
No, I'm asking two pointed questions that you have made, Professor Akhil. Now let him respond. If you have the facts, please come in on it.
Madhav, I am not the counsel in this case, so any specific allegation needs to be responded by the accused in the court of law. But having said that, let me say this. Same ED, there was an allegation when 2G happened. How many crores of bribe was alleged? 200 crores. How much loss to the exchequer was alleged? 2 lakh crores. What has happened in that case? It has fallen flat. It has fallen flat. There is not even a single conviction in that case. Now, having said that, I am saying here responsibly, it's a political narrative. It's a political hit job. Because if you really think that something wrong has happened, you will not take 10 years to do an investigation, another 20 years to another 20 years, another 20 years to complete the trial, so that you keep on getting political mileage.
BJP road to power is what they will say, and they will say at that time 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs of alleged loss was made. When finally it comes to the convictions, nothing happens. How do we know that the same thing won't happen in National Herald case? Pradeep.
Point number one, why are they getting rattled? Let them face the law. We are saying 93% is the conviction rate of ED. Believe in the Supreme Court of 93%.
Less than 1%.
93% is the
your
conviction
statement,
rate.
less than 1%.
You can check.
No, you can also check.
Open challenge.
No, what they say is,
93%
now
is the conviction rate of
how they say
Enforcement
93%.
Directorate.
How they say 93%.
The cases reach the court.
Which have reached 93 is the conviction rate. See, Madhav, I was listening to them. They all of them, my charges here. Madhav, allow me to make my point. Madhav, my charge is simple. None of them have been able to answer.
Now trying to freeze the assets so that Congress cannot function.
We want Congress to function. The more Congress functions, it is better.
No, you don't. You are in Maharashtra promising some money.
On January,
now you have cut that down to 500 rupees. You make false promises to people.
You have lost in the court of
you have to
allow him. Madhav, they are interrupting us regularly.
Okay, I've asked him a question. Let him respond. I've asked him Kapil's question.
I will answer a political point. You've gone to the court of public opinion. You have been rejected thrice. More than 80 elections Rahul Gandhi has lost. If you believe that we are doing vendetta, say it in front of the people. That is point number one. Point number two. Point number two. On January 21st, 2011, please answer me. There were 1,057 shareholders in AGL, majority of them freedom fighters. Why did you reduce their equity to just 1%? If the intent of AGL was to preserve the nation's asset of freedom fighters without taking their consent, आपने freedom fighters को 1% कर दिया, 90% से 1%. बताओ नियत क्या थी आपकी?
जिस कंपनी से आप इनकम जनरेट नहीं कर सकते, डिविडेंड नहीं ले सकते, सैलरी नहीं ले सकते, कोई प्रॉफिट नहीं ले सकते, कोई बेच नहीं सकते, खरीद नहीं सकते, उस कंपनी में लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी को अगर आपने कुछ भी पैसा दिया है वो दान है,
तो फ्रीडम फाइटर को निकाल देंगे। तो फ्रीडम फाइटर्स को निकाल देंगे।
इसका मतलब जो लॉस इनकर करेगा वो फ्रीडम फाइटर करेगा, वो राहुल गांधी अपने कंधे पे ले रहे हैं। अच्छा, अपने कंधे पे ले रहे हैं, दे सकते नहीं,
सरदार पटेल
सैलरी दे नहीं सकते।
ओके,
He said
Once again, I was bringing Tariq Khan
we
on
have
this.
talked about conviction rate. We should also talk about number of leaders on which they have framed charges and they have called them for all the things. They should also tell what is the number of leader of opposition. Most of the people who are means behind them, ED and CBI, they are from leader of opposition.
Okay, opposition leaders are being targeted. Only opposition leaders are being targeted. Please respond to it.
7th August 2024. This is Times of India. ED's conviction rate is 93%.
We are beyond that. He has asked you a question about why is only opposition being targeted by agencies.
That's a political point. Now raise it in the court of public opinion. That does not make what the investigative agency is doing right now illegal. As what the investigative agency is doing, is it illegal? Which court has said, please me? And just 10 seconds. He was speaking about intent of Nehru. Let me quote the letter of Sardar Patel on 10th May 1950 to Nehru on National Herald. Please, these are not my words. The transactions which I referred to you are of different nature. There is no question of charity, National Herald. I feel all of this is only meant surreptitiously.
Again and again.
You can't stop someone from speaking. You can rebut it.
No,
This is not right. This is not right.
Allow them
right.
to do
Let
that again and again.
Let him speak.
Fact bending. This is what they are truth
You can
bending.
respond to him.
Sir, I am not quoting a Bhajpa leader. I am quoting Sardar Patel. Relax.
No, this was raised by Nasu Trivedi, who presumably raised it from some letter written by Sardar Patel. They want to prove
I do not understand. Why are you so rattled in quoting Sardar Patel?
Agenda of trying to
Why are you
prove
so
that there was a divide between Nehru and Gandhi.
stop
They
someone.
did not
You
give
cannot stop
Bharat
someone
Ratna
from
to Sardar
speaking.
Patel.
You cannot stop someone from speaking. This is not right. Please response.
What they are doing to me exactly was what Nehru did to Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar and Sardar Patel when they voiced their opinion. That is why Nehru gave himself Bharat Ratna, but nobody else. Let me quote again. Let me quote. The transactions in National Herald are not about charity. If it was to me, it would have been closed by then. These are not my words. This is Sardar Patel. 10 May 1950.
Your response.
आरएसएस को close करो।
भैया वही सरदार पटेल ने बोला था।
Only Ashutosh to speak. Only Ashutosh. Yeah.
The allegations that are supposedly made by him was raised by Sudhanshu Trivedi, who has a history of truth bending, which has been proved again and again.
So
this has been fact
this is wrong.
and they have this. They want to create an impression that they are creating an impression there was division between Patel and Nehru.
You can't say this. You can't say. Closing comments. It's a written fact. He's quoting a book. This is not fair. If he is factually incorrect, then say that he's factually incorrect. The Congress leaders apparently written the book. Yeah, he's correct.
The simple point is you can fight as a political leader a corruption case in two forums. One is the court, which is the legal forum, and second is you get public sympathy that what Donald Trump did, that I am being harassed, it's fake cases, and he wins the election, right? Public opinion, because we are a democracy, we'll have to do both of them. So what is happening in the court of law is very clear. You can go around in circles. Section 8 company can have no concept of corporate bailout. The Congress, if at all it wanted, could have taken over AJL, but it creates a special purpose vehicle in the name of Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, for the purpose. Tomorrow, if Congress ceases to give the party, then also they will retain the assets, and that is the entire game.
All right. We'll have to leave it there. Gentlemen, completely out of time. Pradeep Bhandari, Ishkaran Bhandari, Abhishek Sudhir, Ashutosh Mishra, Mohammad Tariq Khan, Professor Akhil Swami, Advocate Kapil Madan. This debate hasn't ended even after it is ended, and I'm sure it will continue even after the end of the show. But clearly, all eyes are on what the court does from here on. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the National Debate.